Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have our weekly update when it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard numbers, and you're probably asking yourself, gee, how much worse could it possibly get? Why are we talking about this again? Well, to be quite honest with you, the reason why we're talking about this is because I want to drive a certain point home with this video, and that point is to showcase that for this game to be a competitor against games like Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's pretty obvious that it's not for a multitude of reasons, but one of the main reasons is the lack of replayability or the simple fact that people don't even want to replay the game, because the numbers are truly showcasing that, and we're going to get into it.
Who's laughing now?
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Age the Veilguard, according to Fandom Pulse, says that the peak concurrent player counts are down over 54% from the all-time peak number. Now, you're probably wondering, gee, that's pretty obvious considering that the game's been out for what, like a week and a half now, 2 weeks now, something along those lines. And, naturally, numbers go down as the game gets beaten and whatnot. But here's the thing. When you have games like Baldur's Gate 3 in recent time actually going up in numbers, and you have games like Dragon Age the Veilguard that's supposed to be competing against those games going down in numbers, and not even just lightly, drastically down, right? You should be able to do a lot more in this game than just 2 weeks worth of content, in my opinion. You should be able to play this game multiple playthroughs, make decisions, whatever the case would be, different builds, all that stuff. You should be able to do that. The thing is that nobody seems to want to do that. There's very few people that want to do that, right? I'm about to beat the game myself. I'm not going to play this shit again. I'm not going to go through multiple playthroughs. Fuck no. I'm going to uninstall that game very quickly and move on, because at the end of the day, this game is nowhere near the caliber of something like Baldur's Gate 3. So let's get into this article, guys, from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, really quick, before we get into the video, I want to confirm something for people out there that have certain questions about it, because I've seen a lot of people saying you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. I can confirm that you can, in fact, off Tosh. I can confirm that Tosh over here can in fact be permanently removed, if you catch my drift, because I succeeded in doing so in my playthrough, thus resulting in me getting the good ending, in my opinion. So the most recent 24-hour peak concurrent player count for Dragon Age the Veilguard is down over 54% from the game's all-time peak. According to SteamDB, the Dragon Age the Veilguard's most recent 24-hour peak only hit 40,974 players. This is a decline of 54.2% from the game's all-time peak of 89,418 players. Now, again, this number, not that great, not that bad either. You know what I mean? It's kind of in the middle at the end of the day, and it shows that 50% of the player base has either refunded or beaten the game and checked out. But most of them are refunds. You want to know how I know this? Is because if you look at the SteamDB numbers and you actually check out the achievement tab, you're going to realize that it's actually not many people have beaten the game. That's the funny thing. Let's check it out ourselves. Wow. Oh my God. I just click, oh my God. I just clicked this, and this is much worse than what the article says. The 24-hour peak for Dragon Age of Veilguard at the time of this filming is actually 27,573. This is terrible. Look at this going down. Look, it had a little bit of a heart rate going up with all the free copies being given out, and then boom, dead, all the way dead. Yeah, this game's screwed. Let's look. Let's see. So if we go to the achievement tab, where can I see the achievement tab? Here we go. And if we go to view global stats, let's go to part 14 and see how many people completed it. Let's see. So part 4, so only 17.3% of players on Steam actually finished the last chapter of the game. 17.3% of players have beaten the game out of all those people playing right now. So I think it's pretty safe to say that these numbers, okay, are from people that either refunded the game, or they played the game and they didn't even bother beating it. They don't even care. They're like, wow, this is trash. I regret buying this. That's what this is right now, because there's no way that you drop this much and only 17% of people have finished your game. There's absolutely no way whatsoever. That's ridiculous. This game is cooked. People are clearly not wanting to play this game. People are clearly checking out, and they are moving on to other pastures. And I do not blame them at all. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Not only has the game seen its peak player count significantly decline in its second weekend on Steam, but over half of the players on Steam still have not completed half of the game. As previously reported, oh, good. I'm glad they reported that. As previously reported from a week ago, only 42.1% of players had achieved the Part 7 Fire, Feather, and Fate achievement, while only 28.8% had acquired the Part 8 No Sacrifice Greater achievement. And finally, only 8.2% had achieved the Part 14 The Dread Wolf Rises achievement. Those percentages have moved, albeit marginally. Now 49% of players have achieved Part 7, etc., all the way through. While peak player numbers are down on Steam, the game does not appear to be making any headway on consoles. The game debuted in 40th on True Trophy's weekly top 40 PlayStation chart, so it barely hit the trophy chart. Barely. It's the last one. That's insane. Then it says that it moved up slightly to 32nd in its second week. The site has not released its data for the game's third week as of writing. I would imagine that in the third week, it probably didn't even make top 40. It probably went 40, then to 32 when people were at its highest peak, and then it went down and is probably not even at the 40. I got to be honest with you. On Xbox, the True Achievements reported that the game debuted in top 40 Xbox chart in the 25th position. In its second week, it moved up just one rank to 24. As of writing, the game's third week data has not been released. It's probably not up there either. Like, this game is so unbelievably cooked, and it's hilarious because it just got snubbed in the Game Awards, which nobody saw coming. And I gotta admit that I was wrong on that. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. You guys didn't see it coming. Like, a couple of you did, but for the most part, nobody saw that coming. The game got completely snubbed. It only got nominated in accessibility, and it got ignored in literally everything else, because even the journalists know this game is cooked, and this game is not a good representation of their ideology. They can try to push their ideology in games all they want, but this is a prime example of what it means to be too damn heavy-handed. It's a prime example of what it means to push the message past the story, where the story is taking a huge hit because of the message. The message takes precedence over everything. You can't have a bad character. No companions are bad. Everybody's a goody two-shoes. It's the most boring scenario that I've ever seen in my life from a Dragon Age game. It's not something that people would expect when trying to play a Dragon Age game. This is why all those normies that bought the game, not realizing the culture war that's happening right now because maybe they were out of the space or whatever, they bought the game and they booted it up and they realized, what the hell is this? And then they go online, they end up researching, and what happens? They find people like me. I say that all the time, but that is the truth. That's exactly what happens. I got a ton of subscribers from this game, and most of the comments were, wow, I didn't even know any of this was happening, but I'm glad I found a channel like yours. Well, listen, Dragon Age and Veilguard is going to grow my channel more than anything I could ever do. Games like this always end up growing my channel, other people's channels like mine, more than I ever could, because you guys are the ones that are pushing your nonsense to the point that it's making people seek out others and trying to see if they're crazy, right? People are booting up the game thinking they're crazy for noticing stuff like this, and then when they go online, they realize, oh, I'm not crazy. There's other people that think exactly like me. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, whether this game hit 1 million sales or not, it doesn't matter. This game is cooked. It needed about 5 million sales to break even. It's not going to get anywhere close. And let's be honest, the sales have completely stagnated to the point where they're going to literally crawl to the 2 million mark. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.